Hello and welcome to NewFilmmakers Los Angeles in partnership with Movie Maker magazine. My name is Danny DeLillo. We're here at the South Park Center. I'm delighted to be reunited with Ali with her latest film, Pop. Let's take a look at the clip.
她也不是年轻人哈，她住在家里，也没有男朋友，而且她已经30岁了。我看看这个豆豆啊，总会想到，哎呦老天爷啊，怎么诅咒我？
我用什么办法都去不了这些痘痘，就好像打不死的蟑螂。这人有个蟑螂脸。
Can I help you with anything, ma'am? Oh. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. Wait. Are you Jennifer? Aren't you Jennifer Yang?
Anyways, Ali, honestly, I'm always happy to see your face. I'm always happy to see your films. And welcome back. You're making more films, hey? So, Pop, lots of questions. Love it, love it, love it. It was so nice to hear the audience reaction last night. But for those that haven't seen it, how would you summarize it?
I would say it's about Jennifer, a Chinese-American girl who's in her 30s, and she's still living at home with her mom and suffering through adult acne. And it's Chinese New Year, and the guy that she likes is supposedly supposed to be there.
Supposedly. Okay, I like that little ... You always just bring to life these characters that I'm just like, I just completely fall in love with, and like, it's so hard to gravitate towards characters so quickly, but I always do in your films. Like, I'm just like right there. Now, with this particular story, is wonderful dynamic of a relationship between mother and daughter and everything else in between, cycling, everything. Where did this kind of inspiration for these characters, this story, come together and decide to turn it into a film?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's very much inspired by my own life. Like growing up, I had acne all the way from like probably like late middle school and like struggle with it and like dealing with it like all the way through college and actually like also into grad school. And so I really wanted to showcase that in a film. Who the characters were something to be developed, but this was actually it's been a while since I shot this film. This was my NYU Tisch like graduate film thesis film, and it's just had a very long journey through post-production and festival rejections. But I really wanted to. This was actually my most personal work.
Yeah.
Like that's actually very much inspired by my own life. Whereas like my other short films, which you've seen, are all, have the inspirations come from different places, but none of them were really about my own life.
Well, I mean, firstly, Ali, thank you for sharing something that's so personal. It's always admirable that filmmakers that come out and, talk about things, share things that are so personal, make it universal. But I always think to myself, wow, you're probably helping or educate a lot of people right now as well. Like, I mean, listen, it's your own personal story, but you kind of think like, oh, I hope this resonates with people or people that have been through this experience, because I think what you really showed in this film, as always, as it should be in any film, is unless you've been through it or you've got this lived experience, then you just don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and like, what we were talking about last night a little bit is just how taboo and how stereotypical like acne has been portrayed on characters. Like it's always like the high school kid who's like a little bit geeky and a little bit nerdy, like sitting in the back of the class with their glasses on, and it's just like a face full of acne. And it's like, why can't we change the narrative and see something different in someone who has acne?
Yeah, absolutely. And you can't help but just fall in love with Jennifer and just everything that's gone on in her day. There's just so many things. You just want everything to work for her. How did you go about in sort of, again, it must have been such an exciting thing to cast this film, because I mean, you hit the nail on the head with the cast. Like, my goodness. But how was that experience from you watching something like, taking something personal and then like, oh, this is reflected to me or my mom? Like, how was that experience?
I think with my mom and with my parents, it's like they know that it's like a dramatization.
Yes,
They know that it's fictional, and inspired by reality, but everything is more heightened. And so I think it's fun. It's always funny because my parents are in multiple scenes as extras.
You brought your parents in?
Well, because it's shot
I
in
love
Orange
it.
County, and like they're there, so why not? And I need more humans in the frame.
That's amazing.
So, yeah, they're very supportive. So like they're both like in the background in the Chinese New Year banquet.
Yeah.
And and like my dad was in like one or two of the spin class scenes.
Oh my god. Okay, thank you, Ali's parents. That's good. Yeah. So they're on IMDb now. They're ready for their careers ahead. You know.
Yeah.
Again, I think obviously you took it from a very you brought light as well as like kind of the depth of truth in there as well, and just the tackle of parent dynamics, a mother-daughter relationship, expectations, the things that they want for you and you want for them, and it's all about love, but there's still disconnect sometimes with some of these things, right? And I thought you portrayed these conversations really, really well. How did you, it can't be easy making something that's also, having someone, the mum trying to hit one note, the daughter's trying to hit the other note, but disconnecting even though they both love each other. But how was that writing part of the process for you? Because you did it so good.
The writing was actually really hard for me. So
Yeah.
I was still developing it while I was in school in my last year. And I think in my third year writing class, like focusing on the thesis film, I worked on probably about 9 drafts of the script. And it was like every time that notes came in, I just really had a hard time like actually applying them and working them in. And so I went to the Austin Film Festival for the premiere of my other short film, Sophie,
Yes.
the one that's shot in Hong Kong. And when I was there, I met 2 really important people that I ended up using on this project. One was this writer Michael, who is actually British, and
We're everywhere, sorry.
What?
I said we're everywhere, I'm sorry.
Oh
Yeah.
he was there with another short film that he wrote called The Romance Class, and the comedy and like the dramedy elements and the structure, the dialogue, everything was so good. And I really wanted to go back to him. So he helped me with Our Way Home, my other short, and he helped me with this short film.
Oh, wow.
And basically came in and did like a couple, like 2 or 3 more drafts with me, and really just shaped like a better structure and sort of figured out where to put the humor and where to put like the more emotional moments and scenes and stuff. Yeah.
Your dramedy though is always, I mean, you have such a good dynamic. Like and it's also as well, it's so naturalistic. Like it doesn't feel, you feel like you're, oh my goodness, like I've felt this moment, or I felt this essence of drama, and then I felt like happy or lighthearted in the space of one sentence. Like you're so good at putting those dynamics. Now, again, as you say, when it's something a bit more personal and you're directing, how do you work? What was the process of working with your actors in this context?
I think I really wanted to, not isolate myself from it, but actually, really work through developing their relationship as a mother and daughter.
Yeah.
And like as long as that relationship is worked through, then I can go in and sort of add my own personal touches and bring in my own personal stories. But it really should be their own life stories that they're bringing to the table too.
They were so good.
Yeah, they're great. Actually, well, Michelle is Kiwi. So she's doing an American accent.
Oh, I love it. Oh, you're good, Michelle. You're good. That's amazing. Wow, that's amazing. No, I mean, it's when you bring characters to life and like I kind of didn't want the film to end because I wasn't done with the characters yet. I was like, no, please more. But okay, so one of the things I love about your film is that it's a film that you can get into really, really quickly, and I was there in the audience last night, and honestly, I wanted to hear the reaction of people and how has it been for this film, like the
I
reaction of
actually
people?
want to hear it from you.
For me?
Yeah, because I actually was like on like a different level because it's
You were
been
there?
such a long
Yeah.
journey for
Yeah.
me. So like I feel like when I sat in and like when it finally started going, I think I
You blanked
personally
out?
was like I blacked out and like I was like laughing and crying myself because I was like, oh my God, this is like.
Well, I mean, honestly, you know, it's your fourth film you had with us, and you know, I think we all know we think you're a phenomenal filmmaker, and so I wanted to be there as like your surrogate brother, like, oh, I hope everything, you're like, please laugh at all the rap, you know what I mean? So I was there in moral support, really. But no, I think the nicest thing is that one of the things that I always love is people, like, I've laughed in certain spaces, but then other people may have like taken something and I was like, oh my God, I missed that bit from last time. So I always love watching it. So I think like, for me personally, I love how people laughed, but it was kind of the intimacy, the moments of silence that really struck me. You know, just, you know, every time she was resting on the beach and people were just trying to encapsulate what was going on in her mind, you know, and I love that just people just kept turning up on the beach and she's like, where have you just come from? Like what are you doing here? Like, you know what I mean? Which I really love too. And I think the special thing as well is just for me as well is watching the journey of mother and daughter, and then just kind of seeing how you brought the love to the center point again, and that like, listen, we may not always agree, we may not always do things the same way, but I love you, you love me, we're gonna get through this. Yeah. And that was just so special because I felt like everyone was gonna go and call their mom or their loved ones after watching your film, because I thought that dynamic was really special. So I love the laughter, but I also love listening for the silence, and you had both, in my opinion. So, but thank you for asking. I'm weird asking the question. I'm sorry. I'm like, it's all about you, Ali. Oh my God, I'm sorry. Anyways, but what is you know, what have you learned from of all the films you've done? You said almost 8 now. What have you learned from this particular film?
Making long, short films is hard.
Yeah.
Like I'm not really sure why, like what inspires a lot of graduate film students, at least. I can't speak to undergrad, but for graduate film students, they always like to make these longer shorts that are like 18 minutes plus. Yeah. And I actually really don't recommend that.
Good, really good advice.
Because it's just much hard. Like you have to have like a celebrity attached or like just different things in play that behind you, like an incredible like social justice story or like something about it like that's really extremely unique. Yeah. Because I mean this. Like I'm so grateful to NewFilmmakers for like programming this like as my 4th short film here, but it's like it's had like a lot of rejections and you know it's just like I want to be honest and open about that because I think it is a journey of like an artist. Yeah. And it definitely hurt, you know, like to have rejections from like film festivals that I really thought would, you know, take it. Yeah. You know, for whatever reason. And so that's why it was just so humbling to be able to like see it on a big screen and invite as many like cast and crew who could come out and who are still like in LA, you know? Yeah.
No, definitely. You had wonderful support as well. They're all cheering for you. So it was really super nice. No, I think, and again, that's such a weird thing as a part of the process in the film festival circuit, that whole dynamic and time, you know, it comes down to a lot of things that we not really in our control the same way casting is, I guess, in some ways. But I mean, goodness me, I think, you know, and so what did you want your audience to take from your film, to learn from your film? Is there anything you kind of want the people to kind of go away with?
Yeah, I think we both kind of touched upon it a little bit already, but it's like, really, you know, making people with acne more like human, you know, like they're not, you know, you shouldn't shy away from it, you know, like maybe they need, you know, it's like acne is from stress and it's from like facial oils and it's from like what you eat. Yeah. So it's like why don't you offer a helping hand and like talk to them like
Yeah.
as like any normal human being, because it
Yeah.
is like super taboo still.
Oh, 100%. But it also, like many things we talk about in filmmaking, it really takes someone that can identify, resonate, feel the essence of that story to really truly understand a true articulation of what that feels like, which is why you had to make this film,
Yeah.
right? Obviously. So,
Yeah, and like, and I really, you know, like you said earlier, it's like really having this sort of film be a conversation between mothers and daughters,
Yeah.
fathers and sons, and like really inspiring people to just have conversations about what they're going through,
Yeah,
you know, and like,
absolutely.
let's work on this as a team rather
Yeah.
than like make this a thing where you have to do this for like the Chinese New Year banquet, you know,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
why
yeah.
don't we, you know, how like having the patience of like however long it's gonna take,
Yeah.
you know, like let's work through this together, you know.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. No, good lessons for life too.
Yeah.
Ali, never stop making films. What is next for you?
I'm developing my first feature. It's called Beach House, and it's a psychological coming of age drama. And all I can say right now is that the whole film all takes place in a dream state, and also requires some looking into the mirror, facing oneself.
Oh, I'm ready. I'm so ready for this. I like the fact we're going to be in a dream sequence. Sounds wonderful.
90-minute dream sequence.
A
Are you
90
ready?
minute- I'm so ready. If it's created by you, I'm so ready. No, Ali, thank you. Of all the films you brought us, but also all the characters and stories that you created. Thank you for what you bring to entertainment, and we're ready for your feature.
Thank you.
All right, thank
Thank
you,
you
Ali,
so
everybody.